Namaste everyone, my name is Mandira Sunwar and today I'm going to teach you about the endocrine system. So let's go with the introduction. Endocrine system consists of the endocrine glands. These are called as the Douglas gland because of the fact that their secretions or the hormones secreted by this gland is directly released into the blood, not through any tubes or ducts. So here we can see that there are different types of endocrine gland. Here we can see there is a pituitary gland and the pineal gland and thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, ovaries, and the testicles. So we will study these endocrine glands in brief. So first of all, we will go with the pineal gland. The pineal gland lies in the middle of the brain. So it is located posterior part of the third ventricle of the brain. Third ventricle is the fluid-filled space in the brain. So here you can see that this is the pineal gland. It lies in very deeper aspect of the brain, in the middle of the brain, which is located posterior the third ventricle. So this is the third ventricle, and it is located uh, posterior to the third ventricle, and its weight is about 5.5 to 9 millimeter long. Its length is 5 to 9 millimeter long, and its weight is about 0.1 gram in normal adult. So here are the functions of the pineal gland. So the pineal gland helps to play a role in regulating a female reproduction and sexual maturation. It also controls the circadian rhythm, which we also call as the body's internal clock that affects the action of the sleep and wake cycle. So the pineal gland consists of the pinealocytes. These are the cells of the pineal gland which create and secrete the melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone which is responsible for maintaining the body's internal clock, so that we become aware about our surrounding, either it is daytime or nighttime, and we can also be able to relate to our changing environment, changing climate due to the help of the pineal gland hormone, that is melatonin. So while the melatonin level is raised in our body unusually, so when the level of melatonin is unusually high, then it might occur, it might cause delay in the sexual maturation. And melatonin also helps to regulate the female reproductive hormones, including the women menstruation in the women. So next is the pituitary gland. So pituitary gland is located at the center of the skull, which is it is also called as the master gland. So the pituitary gland is here, you can see in the figure, that is very small in size. It is very small in size. Just look at this small figure. This is very small in size. It is oval in shape, and it is small, like around pea size. And it weighs about 500 milligram, and it is located just below our nasal bridge, and it is located behind the hypothalamus, below the hypothalamus. So this is our hypothalamus. Here you can see this is our hypothalamus, and it is located below the hypothalamus. It has two lobes, anterior lobe and the posterior lobe, and it is attached, the pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamus with a stalk-like structure. Here you can see. Uh, so the posterior and anterior part secretes a different type of hormones. It is called the master gland because it controls other glands in our body, which we will study later on. So here I have enlisted the different hormones that is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland and the posterior pituitary gland. They secrete different types of hormone. So here we go with the growth hormone, which is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. So growth hormone helps in growth and development of the bone and the muscles, and second most is the adrenocorticotrophin hormone or corticotrophin hormone. It helps in this hormone helps in regulation of the this hormone help in production of the cortisol or cortisol, which cortisol, which is secreted after the pituitary gland stimulates the adrenal gland to produce the cortisol. So the cortisol helps in regulation of the blood pressure in our body. It also helps to regulate the fluid and electrolyte balance in our body. And the third most is the thyroid stimulating hormone. So thyroid stimulating hormone helps helps to activate the thyroid gland to produce the thyroid hormone, which is very much important in metabolism, body's metabolism and growth and development, and as well as regulation of the body temperature. So another one is the prolactin hormone. The prolactin hormone helps in production of the breast milk in the lactating mother or the breastfeeding mother. So fifth first is the gonadotrophic hormone. The gonadotrophic hormone includes two hormones. They are follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. So the follicle stimulating hormone helps in stimulating the growth and maturation of the ovarian follicle. Ovarian follicle is the female ovarian cells that stimulate in the estrogen secretion. So estrogen is the hormone which is very much essential in female reproductive system. We will later on study about this in while studying about the ovaries. And it also stimulate in male, it also stimulate spermatogenesis, which is production or formation of the sperm. And the next one, the luteinizing hormone. So luteinizing hormone helps in maturation and functioning of the gonads in both male and female. It helps in maturation and functioning of the ovaries and the testes. Luteinizing hormone is also important for the spermatogenesis. So luteinizing hormone induces the ovulation in female, and it also helps to it also helps in the production of the estrogen and progesterone hormone. So next one are the hormones that are secreted by the posterior pituitary gland. They are the antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, and second one is the oxytocin. So antidiuretic hormone helps in regulation of the blood pressure in our body by retaining the water and preventing the dehydration. And it also and second one is the oxytocin. So oxytocin helps in the release of the breast milk, and it also helps in contraction of the uterus during the labor. So next one is the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is situated both in the right and left side of the anterior part of the neck. So here you can see the anatomy. Here I'm going to describe the anatomy of the thyroid gland. So this is our thyroid cartilage, which is also called as the Adam's apple. So it is a prominent part which can be felt from outside. Here you can feel your thyroid cartilage. So below the between the thyroid cartilage and above the trachea, it is located above the trachea, which is also called as the windpipe. So thyroid gland is butterfly in shape. It is a butterfly shaped organ which lies in front of the neck, below the Adam's apple. Here you can see it is below the Adam's apple and in front of the trachea. So this is the trachea and it is in front of the trachea, and it is connected by a bridge in between the right and left. Thyroid gland is connected by a bridge which is called as the isthmus. It connects in the it must connect the thyroid gland in middle. So the main function of the thyroid gland is to produce the hormone which are named as the thyroxine and calcitonin. So this this hormone helps in regulation of the body temperature, as well as helps in metabolism and growth and development of the body. And the size of the gland may grow abnormally in case of lack of iodine. So this condition is called as the goiter. Next one is the parathyroid gland. So parathyroid gland remains at the back of the thyroid gland. Previously, we have studied about the thyroid gland. So behind the thyroid gland, so this is the posterior view, back view of the thyroid gland, and be, on the back side of the thyroid gland, here lies four parathyroid glands, two on each side. Here, this on the right side, two parathyroid gland, on left side, two parathyroid glands. So the main function of the parathyroid gland is to produce the parathyroid hormone, which helps in strengthening of the bones by balancing the level of the calcium and the phosphorus. These are the minerals which are required for the bone, for the strengthening of the bone. So in case of lack of this hormone, or disease called the muscular tetany may take place. And if this hormone is produced in excessive amount, then stone may be formed inside the ureter, and it might also cause the kidney stone or urinary bladder stone or the ureter stone. And excessive increment or production of the hormone, of this parathormone hormone, might also result in the unnatural growth of the bone. So next one is the thymus gland. So thymus gland, first of all, we will go with the anatomy of the thymus gland. Here you can see that this nodular organ, yeah. So this nodular organ, which is, you can switch here, you can see that uh, it is roughly triangular, yeah. You can see it is roughly triangular, and it is situated in the mediastinum. Mediastinum is the space between the lungs, which is the space between the lungs and in between the thoracic cavity. So it lies anterior and superior to the heart, anterior and superior above the heart, and it lies posterior to the sternum. It lies posterior to the sternum. So in front of the thymus gland, there is the sternum, and it is the thymus gland grows until the adulthood and become thinner along with the aging. It is located at the back of the sternum in the chest, and it weighs about 10 gram in childhood, and 35 to 40 gram in adulthood, and 15 gram in old age. So here you can see that the weight is small, small. The weight is low in childhood, that is 10 gram, and along with the adulthood, with the growth and development of the human body, its size also increases. And and after the ending, after the old age begins, it begins to shrink. The size of the thymus gland begins to shrink. So it secretes the hormone called as thymosin, which helps in production of the lymphocyte. So the lymphocytes, lymphocytes, immature lymphocytes, which are not mature, immature lymphocytes are produced by the bone marrow of our body. So bone marrow produces the lymphocyte which are immature, which are not ready to function, do its function. So it travels to the thymus gland, and then at there the maturation of the lymphocyte occur. Lymphocyte is a white blood cell which primary function is to produce the antibody and increase the immunity in our body. So after the lymphocyte become mature and active to function, they help in defending our body or protecting our body from different type of foreign body invasions. Likewise, it could be the virus, fungi, or bacteria. So it has a very important function in our body. Next one is the adrenal gland. So adrenal gland remain at the top of the each kidney, so that's why it is also called as the suprarenal gland. Kidney is called as the renal, and kidney is called as renal, and it is situated above the kidney, so that's why it is also called as the suprarenal gland. So bilaterally there are it is situated in both of the kidneys, superior part of the kidneys, so they are two in number. So this gland produces the hormone, different types of hormone, corticoids, basically the hormone corticoids at the outer layer. So if this hormone is produced in excess, then the symptoms such as increment of the sugar level in blood, dehydration, and continuous weight loss might be noticeable. And the inner part of this gland, medulla, secretes the hormone adrenaline, noradrenaline. So the main function of this adrenal gland is to maintain the heart rate of increase the heart rate, blood pressure, and blood circulation, increase the heartbeat, blood pressure, and blood circulation in the muscles. Basically it helps, it produces the steroid hormone, which helps in regulation of the long-term stress response in our body. It During that period, it helps to increase the blood pressure, it maintains the blood volume, and it maintains the fluid and electrolyte balance, and it also begin the inflammatory process in our body. So next one is the pancreas. So here you can see that pancreas is situated at the back of the stomach, and this gland is also known as the mixed gland. It is called as the mixed gland because it produces different type of digestive hormone and enzymes during the digestion of the food in our body. So it secretes different type of digestive hormones like as trypsin, chymotrypsin, which helps in digestion of the protein in our food. So it also has an exocrine, that is the exocrine function of the pancreas, whereas as an endocrine function, here you can see, here we have only, I have only listed the endocrine function. So endocrine gland produces the glucagon and the insulin. So insulin balances the blood glucose level in the blood, and if the glucose level rises, more glucose can be seen in the blood. So the condition is basically known as the diabetes mellitus, which is a very prominent disease in our mostly seen these days. So next one is the gonads. So the gonads are the primary reproductive organ. In male, it is termed as testes, and in female, it is termed as the ovaries. Here you can see in the figure that this is the testes, and these egg-like structures are the ovaries. So testis is responsible for production of the sperm, and ovaries are responsible for the production of the ova or the ovum. They also secrete different types of hormones. So first of all, we will go with the ovaries. This gland is in female only. It remains on the right and left side of the uterus. There are two in number. Here you can see this structure is the ovary, and it secretes the hormone named estrogen and progesterone. So this is the uterus, and this is the fallopian tube, and this is the ovaries. So after the ovary, when the ovary secretes the egg or ovum, it travels from the fallopian tube to the uterus, and at the uterus, after the conception, after conceiving the sperm, after the sperm mixes sperm fertilizes with the ovum, then it forms the zygote and it embeds in the uterus. So there are different type of hormone which is secreted by the ovary, which are named as the estrogen and progesterone. So the function of the estrogen is to enlarge the size of the breast in female and grow the pubic hair, which are the hair in the private part of the female, and the sweetening of the voice, and deposition of the fat in the breast thigh, and activates the ovaries to produce the ova. So during the puberty, this all functions begins in female due to the help of estrogen hormone. And next one is the progesterone. So progesterone helps to create a favorable condition or favorable environment for the fertilized ova to be alive. So it progesterone also assists the zygote. That is zygote is after the ovum and sperm combines together, or they mate each other, then it forms the zygote. So to grow, so the progesterone assists the zygote to grow, and it also helps in activating the breast milk production in the female, and this hormone is also responsible for menstruation in the females. So next one is the testis. So testis is the gland in male. So it has two small parts. It produces the hormone called as the testosterone. Here you can see this small egg-like structure are testes. Here you can see that this is the scrotum. It is the sac-like structure that hangs behind the penis of the male. So inside the scrotum, there are two testes, one on each side, right and left side. So this helps in production of the hormone called as the testosterone, which primary function is to grow the beard and other hairs in the males. And similarly, this hormone is also responsible for the development of the hoarse sound in the male, and it also helps in increment of the size of penis in male during the puberty period. And this hormone activates the testes to produce the sperm. So thank you for today. We will discuss only this much about the endocrine system today. I hope you all get it properly, and if in case there is any problem with these content, or you get confused with anything, you have any queries, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much. Let's meet next time.